Get faster internet speeds for free when you get TV, internet, and phone. Ask for Trio from Rev.
Join the revolution.
Coming up in News Tonight, Foreign Affairs and Immigration Minister Fred Mitchell backs the National Security Minister on the U.S. advisory. That story coming up.
Businesses being affected by BPL's power outages want answers immediately. That and more tonight on our news.
Plus, Long Island still recovering 9 months after Hurricane Joaquin. Welcome to our news. I'm Dana Smith. Thanks for joining us. Topping news tonight, though he previously stated there was nothing unusual about the latest crime warning issued by the U.S. Embassy in Nassau, Foreign Affairs and Immigration Minister Fred Mitchell today asserted that he stands by the Minister of National Security's assertion that the U.S. misstated facts about crime. Simone Davis has more in this report. Minister Mitchell is backing Nottage, who asserted yesterday that the statistics of crime in that U.S. crime warning were wrong and the description of the Bahamas is completely untrue. On Tuesday, the embassy warned Americans traveling to the Bahamas of a significant increase in armed robberies in New Providence, despite recent claims from Nottage that armed robberies are actually down 21%. The advisory came 4 days after the Bahamas government issued an advisory to Bahamians living in the U.S. to exercise extreme caution in light of 2 police-involved shootings. Today, Mitchell said if Nottage said the advisory is wrong, then that's what he stands by.
National Security Minister, as I'm advised, is talking about whether the statistical basis for their assertions are correct, and he would know whether they are or they aren't. I think that that's as far as I can go. He has the competence on that matter and has made the assertions, and I would stand by what his assertions are.
Last month, Nottage said crime overall was down 29%. The Bahamas' travel warning gained international attention on networks such as CNN and MSNBC. Mitchell said he finds it amusing that the crime warnings are being blown out of proportion. He said it's time for people to get over it and move on.
The U.S. has an obligation. In their law, they say to do what they do, and I think people are actually making much too much of it. Myself, I think that it is too much importance is being placed on it.
While defending his ministry's move to issue the initial crime warning, Mitchell suggested that those who are calling it a bad move are just creating political mischief.
I think that's political. That's a political comment, you know, people trying to make mischief. The advisory, again, people are simply taking this more than it is. The Bahamas government has an obligation to its citizens who are traveling abroad to say if it knows of any specific concerns or dangers that it has for citizens traveling to those countries. The Bahamas government discharged that responsibility. That's all it is, and who wants to make more of it is fine, but that's all it is.
Reporting for our news, I'm Simone Davis.
Well, in the wake of Shadow Minister of Foreign Affairs Hubert Chipman voicing his support for the Foreign Affairs Minister's decision to issue an advisory to Bahamians traveling to the U.S., Chipman's parliamentary colleague, Fort Charlotte MP Dr. Andre Rollins, has branded the move dumb diplomacy. Rollins, who also sits as the Shadow Minister for National Security, suggested the move was unnecessary and a bid to grab international headlines.
It appears as though our government, in an effort to benefit from global headlines, wanting to appear as though we are, as the Minister for Foreign Affairs likes to say, inclined to get into big people's business. Well, when you do that and you undermine the welfare of the Bahamian people, that's not smart politics. That's not smart diplomacy. That's dumb diplomacy.
Rollins said Bahamians have common sense and are known to be extremely well-behaved and compliant with the law of the United States. In fact, he said people have acknowledged time and time again that some Bahamians often behave better in the United States than they do here. He questioned if there was any real concern or demonstrable reason for concern behind the release of the Bahamas advisory.
I could understand if there was clear indication that we had Bahamians who were involving themselves in the protests that were the subject of much international discussion. I could understand if there were reports of Bahamians being interfered with unfairly by U.S. police. However, the fact is that there have not been such reports.
Rollins said Bahamians are far more likely to become a victim of crime here at home than they are if they travel abroad. And as a result of the advisory, a greater spotlight is on the Bahamas and its serious crime problem. He said the way the release was worded creates the impression that the Bahamas has a problem with law enforcement officers in the U.S.
Fallout from that press release is that the United States perhaps may have felt that we were showing a lack of respect for their ability to enforce the rule of law, and that we are somehow broadly labeling law enforcement officers in the United States as racist.
Rollins said the government needs a reality check because there is a far greater cause for alarm here at home than in the United States when it comes to citizen safety. In other news, following promises made by Bahamas Power and Light CEO Pamela Hill that the company will fix the issue of frequent power outages soon, some business owners are left to wonder how soon is soon. Giorgio Stirrup reports.
Several businesses throughout New Providence are wondering when the random power outages of BPL will cease, saying that business has almost come to a stop and some businesses having to replace hundreds of dollars in equipment. Kevon Newble, who has been cutting hair at the Choice Cuts barbershop, says this has been the worst summer for his business, and in an industry where time is money, he feels as though he's losing both.
It is very difficult when you have a shop full of clients, and when the power goes off, the clients just up and leave, and then you can't give them a definitive time frame as to when the power will be back on.
Thea Palacios at the Catwalk Boutique says frequent power outages are affecting sales tremendously. Now the store owner says she is forced to replace her alarm system and air conditioning, which was damaged.
It affects the store with customers coming in to try clothes. They don't stay. It affects our computer system, our air conditioning system. We can't do top-up. We can't deal with our wholesale customers. We have no information to work with while we are plagued with the power outages. It also causes us damage to the alarm system and also the air conditioning system.
Meantime, Althea Johnson, who owns Curl's Kids Salon, says she had to purchase a generator to keep her business open when outages occur.
Well, the plaza that I'm in currently, we don't have any generator, so I have my personal generator. I had to go out and purchase that, so when power go off, we have to manually set up the generator on the outside. So it's be rough. And when you call them and you complain about the outages and the hours, and when power cut out, it's like the busiest time. So with the heat and everything else, all of the work, the children are miserable, it's be rough.
Gia Pinder, a technician at Kenai Computer Repair, says the outages prevent her from completing her work and clients aren't happy.
On Saturday, it came, almost went off for about 2 hours, and I couldn't do anything at all. I had a bunch of stuff I had to do, so I had to repair them until on Monday.
Reporting for our news, I'm Giorgio Stirrup.
It's been 9 months since Hurricane Joaquin ravaged islands in the southern Bahamas. While some have managed to pick up where they left off, for many residents of Long Island, a state of normalcy is still a far ways ahead. Kyle Joaquin visited the island and has the story.
Finances don't come every day. I mean, this is on the second storm that I had.
While Long Islanders have come a long way since the storm hit last October, the lack of money has made recovery much more difficult. Jimmy Knowles' home was one of those nearly underwater as he lives near the sea. At the age of 76, he's seen many hurricanes, but none like Joaquin.
So we watched it when it moved. So I tell my son, I say, well, the house ain't going yet. He said, no, she's just standing, Daddy.
The road is right there.
Yeah, man, the ground is bush in there. Like North Side and Rough. Yeah. Wow. Boy, that was something, man.
Establishments like this Early's Lounge were destroyed and lives were turned upside down. Now, while Joaquin caused a lot of damage to this island, for some it was somewhat of a blessing in disguise because in the end they got a brand new home. For Margaret Taylor of Dunmore's Long Island, it's difficult recounting the traumatic experience her family endured during the storm. Holding hands, their already shaky home didn't make it. But thanks to the kindness of another Long Island resident, their new home is far better than their last.
Oh, my new home, God bless me with a better home and a better new home now. Because the old home I had with walking carry, that was about to fall at any minute.
Getting better, but it's still bad. See all around there, getting fixed there and all that. And then the bathroom door, I get accustomed to that because the door was completely destroyed. And Nima gives me that front door because that was battened up.
However, as temperatures rise this summer, hurricane is the last word Long Islanders want to hear.
Should anything else happen, I think we'll withstand the next hurricane even better than this one. Of course, we prefer not to have one at all. If we never see a hurricane again, I'm sure that'll be too soon. So, let's see what happens.
From Long Island for our News, I'm Kyle Joaquin.
Still to come, the 2012 voter register expires today. The Parliamentary Registration Department is encouraging eligible voters to register for the next general election. Stay tuned.